I'm going to be honest with you guys because I care about men's peace, success, and happiness. And I know how much you can suffer uh, through the hands of women. I know how much it can make men suffer because I've suffered because of it. And I've seen other men suffer greatly because of it. So I'm just the messenger. I've approached thousands of women. I've taken hundreds of girls out on dates. I've had many girlfriends over the years. And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about female psychology and about attraction in general. And I want to share that with you guys so that you don't have to suffer for the rest of your life. Because it really sucks if you don't understand this for your entire life and you go through life suffering at the hands of women or female psychology. Because it's not women's fault. It's just how they're designed. Women are just designed this way. You can't get mad at her for being designed this way. Just as you as a man are designed to youthful looking women with nice curves and nice faces and nice skin and nice smell. Like, women can't blame you for being designed that way. It's the same way for women. Women are looking for certain characteristics. And I'm going to tell you right away, it is not the way you look. It's not the way you're dressing. I mean, the way you look has a little bit to do with it, but not that much, to be honest. It's not the way you're dressing. Again, all these things have little micro things to do with it, but these aren't the main things. And women will still reject you or just use you if you are not actually doing the things that are really important. So the things that aren't really important, looks aren't really that important. The way you dress isn't really that important. The place you live isn't really that important. Your job isn't really that important. Being funny isn't even really that important. Like, none of these things are super important when it comes to female attraction. Like, all these things can help, yes. Being funny can signal intelligence. Having money can signal provision. Having a nice place can signal that you can have a family and all these things. I'm not saying these things don't signal anything to women and they don't create some sort of effect, but they are literally the lowest rung of influence when it comes to women. Because, hear me out, guys, I've dressed like shit and I've approached women. I've dressed really nice and I've approached women. I've lived in the biggest shitholes that you could ever imagine. Like, I literally lived in a place with like scribbles on the wall, like a concrete box with like someone like scribbled on the wall, and I still got bitches, guys. Like, nice girls, like nice attractive women. I had a girlfriend at that time as well, a very attractive girlfriend, and I was literally living in like a concrete room with scribbles on the wall. Okay, guys, like, these things women will look past if you're displaying the things that they're really looking for, which is psychological. Because you have to understand, we are animals, guys. We are animals that evolved in nature. We didn't evolve with Lamborghinis. We didn't evolve with mansions. We literally evolved in nature. So therefore, women are picking up on psychological and behavioral factors. They're not picking up on the car you drive. What is it, a Lamborghini, or is it a BMW, or is it a whatever, Toyota? Like, they don't fucking pick up on this because it's not wired into their biology. Just as men, we don't really give a shit if women, I mean, at least personally, I don't really give a shit of women having nice nails, like having like fake nails or fake hair, or doing her hair in a certain way, or dressing up in some glittery clothes. Like, yes, it might grab my attention, but I really don't care about that because I'm not evolved to desire a woman that has fake long nails or perfectly straight hair. I'm not evolved to need that. Yes, it can get my attention, like a nice flashy dress that a woman's wearing. It can get my attention, but I'm not worried about the dress. I'm looking at her body. That's how men are. So just the same way, I'm trying to compare this to how men look at women to how women look at men. Men are not designed to look at the clothes or the nails or the hair, although these things can have a minimal effect, we're mainly looking at the woman herself. And it's the same with women. Women aren't designed to look at the house you're living in. They're not designed to look at, the car you drive. These things have a little bit of an effect because the logical brain obviously can decide that these things are useful. But if you go into the reptile brain or the monkey brain, whatever you want to call it, it totally bypasses these things. And this is why I could have a very attractive girlfriend living in an absolute shithole and dress like shit and having crazy fucking hair. It doesn't matter to her monkey brain, to her reptilian brain. I'm not saying women are different. Men, we operate on our monkey reptilian brain as well. Okay, but you have to understand that women aren't these, super logical, rational beings that are like analyzing the value of everything you own and determining how valuable you are. That's not how they work. They're picking up on behavioral and psychological signals that you're giving off. So as a man, if you want to appear attractive to women, it's all about perception. It's all about perception. It has nothing to do, or it has very little. I won't say it has nothing to do. Definitely has something to do, but it has very little to do with what you actually have. It's all about how you're perceived. And this is why men that can be millionaires, billionaires, still have women problems, because the woman's still perceiving him as a little nerd, as a little dweeb, as a low value guy, even though he might be fucking Elon Musk. He might be, what's that guy's name? I forgot the name. I forgot the name, but these billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg or whatever. She could be standing in front of a literal billionaire, or like a football player or something, or a basketball player, but she could still view him as kind of like, not that amazing. Why is this? We see this all the time with celebrities, athletes, billionaires, millionaires. We see they're still getting destroyed by women. They're still getting destroyed by women because it's not about what you actually have. Though that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is how she perceives you. How she perceives you. And the way you want to be perceived is, I don't know if I could give, honestly, all the information away, guys, but you want to be perceived as high status. But high status, let's take it back to tribal times. High status didn't mean you were wearing the most feathers, okay? High status didn't mean you were talking a big game. High status didn't mean you had the best hut. High status meant you were the leader of the tribe. It meant you led the tribe. You had the responsibility. You were the leader. You made the decisions. And a lot of it, guys, comes down to body language, to be honest. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, I won't hold back too much in this video, but a lot of it comes down to body language. And I don't mean like you gotta like sit up, back straight up. No. What is a high status? How does a high status guy move? How does the leader of the tribe move? Is he rushed all the time? Is he acting like a desperate salesman? No, not at all. A high status man, the leader of a tribe, and let's say the leader of the tribe, because high status man, you guys are gonna start thinking of Ferraris and fucking penthouses and all that shit again. So let's say the leader of a tribe. Let's bring it back to tribal times. The leader of the tribe is not acting like a frantic, desperate salesman or a beggar or anything like that. The leader of the tribe is slow, controlled, and decisive. He's not trying to convince anyone. He's leading. And you have to start learning how to move like the leader of the tribe. You have to start learning how to be like the leader of the tribe. When you start acting like that, women just fall into that because they're picking up. This is evolution, guys, over I don't know how many years, thousands and thousands of years. However long humans have been around and adapting to different environments, women have been picking up on these behaviors. Back in ancient Egypt, we didn't have fucking Ferraris and, mansions. Maybe we had like big temples and nice places, but people generally lived basic. Like people lived basic lives. I know that even in ancient worlds there was like kings and pharaohs and all that stuff, but let's bring it back to tribal times. Okay, guys, let's bring it back to little small tribes. You're all living in one little unit, maybe like 50 people, maybe. And there's always a leader. There's always a leader. You're all living in a similar environment. You're all living, a lot of these jungle tribes and savanna tribes, they lived in small groups and they all lived pretty much the same. But there was always a leader or a few leaders of that tribe. And those are the men that all the women are mostly attracted to. So you have to understand that it's not about physical things. It's about biological psychology and psychological development of humans. It's the same with men just as it is with women. Men are looking for reproductive abilities. We're not looking at fucking nails or perfectly done hair or anything like that. We're looking for optimal reproductive genetics in a woman, and as well a little bit of like feminine motherly qualities, but that's about it. Women are mainly looking for the leader of the tribe. You have to learn how to move, how to act, how to be like the leader of the tribe, and it's not that hard. You can fake it and women are still going to fall in line. That's the craziest thing that I learned over all of my approaches, all of my dates, is that it doesn't even matter if you really are it or not. If you act like it, women will fall in line. That's the crazy part. So guys, I'll see y'all later. Have an awesome day. Peace.